What's up, everybody? My name is JustJarrod, and here we are again. Another No Man's Sky trailer. The fight trailer has released, so if you have not seen it, make sure to check it out. The link is in the description. Before I run through the whole breakdown of it, go watch it yourself. It's about a minute long. Then come back and we'll go through the breakdown. So hopefully you've watched it. I will say before I actually get into this that the trailer did actually leak about 6 or 7 hours before it was actually released to the public, and I did see it once it leaked, but I wasn't going to do a video on it that early because I kind of wanted to respect Hello Games, wanted to respect their trailer, didn't want to put anything out there, prior to when they actually wanted to release it. So yeah, it did leak about 6 or 7 hours prior to the actual release of it, but nevertheless, it is an awesome trailer. It's about a 1 minute long trailer. Hopefully, this video doesn't go on as long as my last breakdown video. That had a lot more in it. This has a lot of cool stuff in it, but it's a lot of shorter clips and a lot of old footage that we've already seen as well. So, right now, I just want to let you guys know the older footage I'll probably just be skipping over just because we've seen it. A lot of it is just simple things like a ship flying through the space with doing nothing, just kind of flying. So I'll probably skip those over. I'm not going to be going exactly frame by frame, but I'm going to be going and covering all the new footage. So let's get right into that. So as you guys see here, this is the No Man's Sky Guides to the Galaxy second trailer, the fight trailer. So the next 2 weeks we'll get the trade and the survive. I, for one, cannot wait for the trade trailer because we have yet to see any kind of trade. We have yet to see any kind of like stores or shops where you trade, any kind of currency differentials, because we know that some races use different currencies, so I cannot wait for that. But those are the next 2 trailers that we will be getting, so make sure you stay tuned to my channel because I will be breaking down each and every one of them. So here we go, the first new spot of footage that we have in this trailer. So this is basically just, you have your average ship, you've got your video 2 fight, and you've got some larger ships in the background there, some freighters, some different ones to the left that we haven't really seen the look of before. Looks pretty cool. Then we have the same, style interior of the ship where it shows your photon cannon, and it shows your undiscovered locations, and it shows your speed, all that stuff. Also, something I want to say right now is if you see the little icon, the ship hologram in the interior of the ship on the screen there, previously we used to think that that showed your ship and the ship you were currently in. I think that still is the case, but as you'll see in a little bit in this actual video here, that I think this changes. This screen changes, so if you're actually attacking another ship, the ship you're attacking will show up on this screen and it'll show you that ship's shield instead of your ship's shield. So examples of that will be as follows. I just want to point that out really quick. Moving on, we got this science looking building here. This could be Korvax, maybe not, but also in the background, in the sky there, we've got 3 ships that look just totally different from anything we've seen. Yet again, it is procedural, I know it's going to happen, but the first ship we see in front looks more of a pod than a ship. Not really sure, but then the 2 ships following it look so cool. Like they have wide wings, which you have yet to see. It looks like an actual like plane. So those are really cool. Just wanted to point those out. But yeah, we have this building here. It does look like a science building, so maybe Korvax, maybe a different race. It kind of looks like there's some kind of landing area up there. Maybe you can land a ship up there. Maybe a ship kind of rises up from the building up there. Who knows? Nevertheless, looks really cool. Now we have this piece of gameplay right here, and I'm going to play this back and forth for you guys so you can hear the ship that's flying by, which sounds awesome. You just hear like the boost of it as it's flying by, so I'll play that for you guys right now. Also, if you listen really closely, you'll hear your ship, I'm assuming something is saying hostile ships when this ship flies by. Just listen closely and hear hostile ships. I don't know about you guys, but I've never noticed the ships are talking or whatever is saying that. So this is the first time I think I've actually ever heard this, but it's really cool to hear. I just caught this while I was editing, so there you go. As you guys can see on the screen in the interior of the ship, we have a ship obviously, but one once again that we haven't seen. The design of it looks a lot different than we've seen before, so there's another new possible ship. Also, the planet that we're looking down on looks mainly an ocean planet. That's all water that you see there. But that's about all on this spot of gameplay. Now here we have an awesome shot. We've got this huge ball of light, this huge star in the background that's kind of over the horizon of this planet, which looks awesome. I really am gonna gush over the lighting in this game because it just looks so stunning, and the glares and things like that. But also we have two ships here. We've got ones that have like weird diamond panels around them, which look really cool. I don't think we've seen those. I know we've seen the ones with circles around them. These look interesting, look awesome. Now this is where that screen panel comes into play. So right down there it says, in the interior of your ship, it says Reshimat S28. Now, one thing I know, this is not your ship. And the reason, because look at the ship that you're in. It's a round ship. It's a Korvax like science ship that we've seen before. This ship on this screen is not. So that's why I say this is the ship you are currently targeting. Now, this Reshimat S28, I do believe, is the ship more to the left, the one that's curving away from the screen, because once we go a little bit further, that actually changes. Now, once we target the other ship, the one more toward the right, the screen changes to this other ship, and once again, one that looks, actually this ship looks like the ship that was in the Explore trailer, the ones with all the like canisters like on the side, with like open doors, circular open doors, and it says Fuchibuk S73, because that's how you pronounce it. So that's why I say this screen, if you're fighting ships or targeting ships, will actually show those ships you are targeting. But I think when you're by yourself and just flying alone, it'll show your ship in your shield. As we see, this ship shield is completely depleted, and the other ship actually had shield left. Now we get the screen here, epic space battles. I cannot wait for these. We haven't really seen crazy epic space battles. We've seen one in like a 2-second clip in some other trailer a long time ago, but we haven't seen anything crazy, so I cannot wait to get into these epic space battles and see just how epic they can actually be, see how crazy they can be. But we do actually get a glimpse somewhat of these epic space battles in this trailer. As you see here, we've got an explosion in the background, we've got a huge ship to the side there. I know the screen is really bright pink, the space that we're in is super pink, so it's kind of hard to see, but we have this ship, our ship actually shooting at this one. There's explosions going on, there's a giant ship in the background to the left there, and if I kind of point to this, hopefully you guys can see it, there seems to be crystals over here. Now I don't know if there's an asteroid and those crystals are on it, or if these crystals are actually on the ship, but I kind of doubt that they're on the ship. I believe that they're on an asteroid, because later in this footage we actually see these giant crystals on asteroids, which we will get to. Now we also get a little glimpse of the phase beams here, these lasers that we're shooting directly at the ships. We will also get a sense of those a little later in the footage, and I'll talk about them a little more. Also, really quickly, I just noticed this, and I've been going through this trailer all day, but as of this recording, I've just noticed, if you look at the little mini-map here in the center of the screen on your ship, that shows the planet in the top left there, I'm going to point to this. It's a cube. There's a cube on this. I'm not sure what that would be. I don't think we haven't seen a cube on like your radar before. I don't know. I really have no idea, but there's a cube there. It's obviously not a sphere, so it's not a planet. Not sure what that could be. Let me know what you think it might be. I think it might be like a space station, some kind of building or a thing like that where you can actually access. Other than that, we don't have enough information to even, speculate what it could be. Here are those crystals I was talking about on these asteroids that we've got. So this is mainly the only thing I want to point out here. These giant crystals. Now, if you saw my last trailer breakdown, there was an image, like a hidden frame that was kind of a huge, huge spot where a bunch of crystals were growing. This is kind of how these are here, which is super cool to see. The actual asteroids, you can mine asteroids, which we know of, but now you see that there's actual crystals, actual minerals growing on these asteroids as well, which is super cool. Plus, I love the color. They're very, they pop. They really do pop amongst, the purple of space, which looks really cool. Another thing I want to point out is the ship that's in this screen. Once again, I know the ships are procedural, but look at it. We haven't seen, a weird thing on top of this ship, as we see here. I'll try to zoom in for you guys. We haven't seen that kind of, it looks more like a propeller-ish thing. A turbine on the top of the ship. I don't know, we haven't seen that yet again. It could be, you know, a little hard to see with the orientation of it on the screen, but nevertheless, it looks new. So I'm going to point out new ships because there's a lot that look crazy in this video. Now here's that actual scene I was talking about, that only epic space battle that we've actually seen. Kind of looks like this. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of bright lights, a lot of ships, just so many lights and lasers and people shooting. Looks really cool, and we have a space station there to the right, but yet again, we have seen this actual scene before. So here we go. This is a super interesting, you know, part of this trailer. This ship is flying right by this freighter. And I don't know if this freighter, if we're like flying at an angle, whereas this freighter is now sideways, or if this is the correct orientation of the freighter. We don't really know. I have to think that it's sideways, but trying to look at it, like turn my head, it doesn't look like it is. I don't know, but it just looks awesome. It's definitely a freighter like up close, which we haven't really seen much of. So I love the look of it, and the lighting is great. The colors are really cool. So I just want to point that out. This is probably one of my favorite parts of this trailer, just because of the ships just look so good with all the lights and all the detail that's put into them. A couple things I want to point out here. We see the phase beams yet again. Now, something I want to talk about that was actually talked about a long time ago with Sean Murray is that the phase beams and a lot of the ship weapons are kind of like, there's kind of like an aim assist on them, where you don't have to actually be pointing directly at the ships to fire at them and to hit them. Sometimes the weapons you're shooting will actually just aim, you know, kind of automatically in a way, so it's not like super tough, because it is actually somewhat, as I've heard, a challenge to control the ships, to actually fly the ships. It's kind of a challenge to get used to it. So the controls for the weapons is that everything kind of has this aim assist to it, where you're hitting it and the lasers kind of follow the ship, because everything's moving at super, you know, really speedy. So it'd be really tough to control the ship and the weapon exactly where you want to shoot. So a lot of the projectiles that you shoot, the lasers you shoot, actually are kind of auto aimed to the ships. That's why you see this right here. As the ship is moving, the lasers are kind of targeting at it faster than the ship is actually turning. So I just wanted to point that out. But there's the phase beam. We get a sense of that. We have some freighters or larger ships in the background. We got the cool look of that planet, but I love the green lights of the phase beam look really cool. We have seen other colors, so we know those are there. We've seen red, we've seen orange. Also, I want to point out on the radar we have these 3 beacon looking lights to the right. Not sure what those could be, because beacons usually aren't in space, they're only on planets. So I'm not really sure, but we'll have to see. Once again, right here we get the phase beam yet again, but we have this different kind of ship, definitely different. On the panel we've got these cool, like I don't know, like a almost circular wings in a way. They look really sweet. I don't think we have seen something like that. I'm not pronouncing that ship name because it's just not possible. So yeah, pretty interesting ship. We do get another glimpse at it in a second. And we have also a huge freaking giant planet in the background here, and we have another larger ship, a freighter there. Then after we get some footage we've seen before, we get this ship again, the same one. We're actually shooting at it. We see some explosions, some sparks fly off of it. Really cool to see against like the pink bright background. It really contrasts really neatly. Now this is where the interior of the ships and the screen actually confuse me. Now we're talking about, once again, the ship screen on the interior. At first I said, right, it's the ship you're targeting. Now here we have a ship that we're targeting, that we're shooting at, that is the exact same ship as the previous portion of gameplay, but the hologram in the ship interior has changed. Yes, it could be a different ship, but it looks the same as the previous one, but not in the hologram on the interior of the ship. It looks totally different. So I don't know exactly how this works in game, if this panel here on the screen is for the ship you're targeting or your ship. I don't know, maybe you can toggle it. That could be a thing. Maybe that's actually a good idea. Maybe you can toggle that, like switch whether or not you want to see your ship's shield or the enemy ship's shield. That's a good idea. I'm sticking with that. So there you go. Now we do get a better look at this ship that we're actually shooting at. Looks pretty interesting, if I do say so myself. But there you go. And here we go again. We've got another ship on the interior panel screen on the bottom of the screen that says Rasamama S36. Awesome ship name, Rasamama. It looks totally different than everything we've seen yet again, but it kind of resembles the ship that we're actually aiming at in this case. So there's that again. Now this is a lot of stuff to talk about here. We've got a bunch of freighters in the background, we got a huge planet in the background, and we have your ship health or your ship shields, ship health, either one, and your ship's weapons actually on the screen here instead of just showing in your ship like it has been previously. In the ship, we get to see how much photon cannons, ammo you have, or how much your charge is, and we get to see your shields in your ship. But now this is the first time, yet again, we saw this in the previous trailer, that now we see the photon cannon in your weapon up at the top right and your health and shields at the top left. So I'm not sure if this is like a different build of the game where there's just getting different footage, or if this is like an upgrade that you can get. But I kind of think this is how it's always going to be when you're in your ship, only because when you're flying around in your ship, as you've probably seen, your health and your shield and all these panels, all these screens in your ships are sometimes obstructed by the screen itself. So as you're turning your ship, or if you're flying away and turning really quickly, maybe trying to run or fly away from enemies, your shield and everything is obstructed by the actual screen, as you can see here. In this portion of gameplay, you can't see your photon cannon, you can't see your health, so maybe that's when it shows up on your screen up at the top so you can see it, or maybe they're always there. So that's kind of what I wanted to point out, because yeah, the screen does obstruct the interior of your ship quite a lot in the gameplay we've seen, so maybe that's what those shields and health at the top of the screen are there for. Kind of more of an easy access so you can see them better. Now, interestingly enough, we have an objective down here in the bottom right hand corner. It says attack ships, rescue cargo freighters, attack ships remaining 7. Also had the skull icon, which I'll get to in a second. So we know there's no missions in No Man's Sky. There's no missions that you have to do. So everything, they don't want to tell you what you have to do. There's no controlling. You can do what you want, go your own way, make your own journey. That's what No Man's Sky is. And you have to understand that. There's nothing you have to do. What I think this is, it's kind of like if you go maybe public event in Destiny kind of deal, where there's a objective in the area. If you want to do it, go ahead. If you don't, then don't do it. That's kind of what I think is what it is. It's an objective that if you want to partake in, you can, and you can get rewarded for that. But if you're not into that, maybe you don't have an attack ship to take on these attack ships, then you can fly away and just ignore it. That's what I think it is. Maybe it's a kind of an objective relating to what faction you're part of, or what NPC race your reputation is built up with. Who knows? But there's that for you guys. There's my thought process on that. Hopefully all that made sense. And then we have the skull icon here, and truthfully, I don't really know what this could be. Leave your opinions down in the comments. I really don't know. Try to just give me your ideas of what it could actually be, because I was thinking maybe it could be an icon to let you know you're doing an objective, but then again, the objective is there on the screen, so that didn't really make sense. Maybe this is a bounty and you're trying to destroy all these attack ships, and that's the icon for a bounty. I don't know. Maybe you have a bounty on your head, and that's what that icon is there, to let you know that there's a bounty on you and people are coming after you. Okay, here's a couple things we have to look at. We've got a ship that we're shooting at here. We've got some icons on the screen that we've seen before. We have on the radar, we have the yellow icon, which we've seen in the previous trailer to know of that is a space station. That I'm pretty sure that's a space station. And the objective has changed. Now it says attack ships, rescue cargo freighters, attack ships remaining 4 instead of 7. And this is the interesting part when I fast forward the clip just a bit here for you guys. We've got this short one frame, the ship is destroyed and then instantly disappears, and we get these materials from it, these resources that it drops, which is a thing, it is a mechanic in the game. The ships you take down, which this was an attack ship, because if you see in the objective now it says attack ships remaining 3 instead of 4, which it was previously. So they actually drop these resources, those little canisters that you can pick up. They kind of get sucked up into your ship, and then you have more resources. So that is a thing in the game, whereas the ships you destroy actually drop things, the freighters you attack actually drop things that you can actually fly through and actually pick up. And if you pause the video on this frame right here, right after you pick up the canisters, you can see that it says you collect iron. Okay, here we have an awesome screenshot of this part of the gameplay. The interior of the ship is it's just so pristine looking. Like the shine, it looks so, this ship right here looks like a top tier ship, if you will. It looks so clean, so the light on it, there's neon lights glowing everywhere. It just looks really cool. I love the style of it. We've seen something similar to this, but not exactly like this before. Looks super awesome, and just the yellow space in the background and the planet and the moon there look really cool. And this gives you a good kind of concept on how big planets are apart from moons. So here's a planet, and there over there is a moon. I'm assuming it could be a planet, I guess. But look at the size difference. It just looks just amazing. And if you look in the once again, the ship panel, the little screen there on the interior of the ship, we have a wicked looking ship that I don't even know how to explain, but there it is. Now right here we have a zooming in part of gameplay where the camera is zooming in onto a beacon. Once again, beacons being what you actually upload your discoveries to go to the Atlas. Speaking of the Atlas, we have this image right here. So fight to survive, just totally ignore that. This construct structure thing in the background here looks a lot like the Atlas, which is the logo of No Man's Sky. And kind of in front of it, it looks like there's kind of a stage or like an altar there. So my theory is that this is a place where NPC alien races go to worship the Atlas. So I don't know what this will... I don't know if you find this looks like a really rare thing, truthfully. It looks super cool. Can't wait to see and uncover the mysteries behind it. Like I said in a lot of my other videos, I can't wait to uncover the secrets of like these relics or these artifacts that we've seen, like the metal pyramid in the last trailer. Just there's so much I just can't wait to uncover. We also have in the top right hand corner, we have the weapon, which is Bolt Caster, has your ammo and your magazine there. Something I want to point out as well on this, if I play this clip really slow back and forth, you get this weird, like, I don't know, rectangle that's like floating through the air. I don't think it's like a particle in the air because it looks a lot larger. I don't know what this is. This mind boggles me. I have no idea. It's very strange. And here we go with some ground combat. So, there's some things to point out here. We've got Sentinel drones flying up, shooting you. You've got maybe one of the Sentinel dog-like creatures actually there. It looks a little bit different, so I'm not really sure, but it does start to shoot you with its laser. So something I want to point out with the multi-tool right off the bat. Okay, so the multi-tool is something, this version we haven't seen, right? The multi-tools are all procedural, they all look different, but we have not seen this version. There's a lot going on, there's like a lot of wires in it, a lot of like spikes kind of in a way, and so something I want to point out here is if you see there's like a dial almost on the multi-tool, which I do believe is for like your upgrades or just the different things you can actually do with your multi-tool. So this one that's highlighted is the actual gun, the one that's shooting right now, and it's selected, it's lighting up, means it's selected. The one above it is a gem, which must be the mining laser. So it's a really cool like addition to let you know what projectile you have selected in your gun. So I can't wait to see if this like changes the amount of upgrade you put on it. If you have like a grenade and some other things, maybe the dial will get bigger and you could like see it actually change more, and it actually kind of changes the look of the gun when you upgrade it. Super cool to see. Can't wait to really find out how much you can upgrade these multi-tools. Something else I want to talk about here is you get this line that comes from like the top of the screen and works its way towards the bottom of the screen. It's kind of like light in a way that's like horizontal all the way across the screen. Starts happening once you get shot by one of the sentinels there. So what this is an indication that your shield has been destroyed. I do believe this is your shield being lowered, which is a really cool like effect because it actually lets you know. It's obvious, you're not going to miss it, that your shield is being destroyed. So there's that. Here we get a really cool look of the tall sentinels, the ones that are the biggest ones we've seen yet, and they look so cool. The machinery in them looks really detailed and the lighting looks really good. It looks pretty menacing, to be honest. So we also get this cool looking planet in the background. It looks more like a beach. It's got like a palm tree. Really awesome stuff. Now the sentinel begins to shoot at you, and or the player in this case, and we take out another multi-tool. This is probably my favorite looking multi-tool that we've seen yet. It's kind of hard to see with the laser and the light kind of shining on it, but this is different yet again. We see when he pulls it out, the ammo flips open there at the end. I'll point to that so you guys see what I'm talking about. And we have the upgrades on this as well, but they're on the back instead of the side. So there's so many different variations of these multi-tools because we haven't even seen the beginning of these multi-tools. So I can't wait to get in and see all the different ones you can actually collect. But there it is, probably my favorite multi-tool that I've seen. Here we get another sentinel shooting another laser at you from above. The lighting looks really cool, and I say that so much, but not much else to talk about here. But this kind of gives you an indication of how tall these things actually are compared to your size. So in the last trailer, I thought that I had seen the creepiest creature that I could ever find or ever see in No Man's Sky, because the last trailer was really creepy, had that weird walking four-legged brain as a head thing, and now we have this. It's definitely topped that. It is a crab thing with whiskers and 6 eyeballs and really long teeth, and I don't know if that's a tongue. I don't know what that is. Yeah, so interesting. We also have this rock that's kind of in the background. I don't know if that's like a different kind of mineral, because none of the other ones are like that. I don't know if this is like fire or lava. I have no idea. It could just be lighting off of maybe the moon in the back, or the moon or planet in the background that's red. Who knows? But we have yet to see lava at all in No Man's Sky, which something I've been really wanting to see. Anyways, not much to talk about here except for this weird looking creature. Okay, here you go. This is probably the largest creature we've seen since that Triceratops looking dinosaur thing long time ago in one of the first trailers. It's a giant walking crab. Interesting. And we get another glimpse of yet another multi-tool here. Same upgrades there. And I mean, it looks pretty cool. The multi-tool, the crab looks pretty cool too. I think I would probably run from it rather than shoot it, to be honest. Yeah. So it's interesting. Very interesting. Definitely a freaky looking creature. Not as freaky as the last one, though. Definitely not as freaky as the last one. Now, if there was the last one, but it was giant, yeah, that would be the stuff of nightmares. And if you pause the video at the perfectly correct moment, you get the multi-tool light. Like the multi-tool shooting, the projectile, the light that kind of, before it hits the creature, you see that this creature has a mouth, pretty large mouth, and weird, like, pincers. I don't know, it looks gross. We get this message here from the surface, indicating that we'll be fighting from the surface. We also get this gameplay in the background that we had in the last trailer. From the surface to the stars. There we go. This is the last piece of new footage that we have in this trailer. We've got a wicked-looking ship freighter in the background. I don't know, the orientation may be a little off, because like I said before, you can warp in at any orientation in No Man's Sky. There's no up, there's no correct up, there's no correct down, things like that. We have a space station to the left. We know that by that yellow icon that's there. We have a really cool ship that's flying above us that I don't think we've seen before. Anyways, guys, I do believe that is it. And there you go. That's the fight trailer for you. Hopefully this breakdown video was helpful, was cool for you guys to watch. Hopefully it was good. I mean, I think I had fun making it. Hopefully you guys had fun watching it. Hopefully it wasn't as long as the last one, which was like 36 minutes long. This was a shorter trailer. I do tend to ramble on quite a lot when I make these videos. I always plan like, it'll be about 10 minutes, and then it ends up being 30 minutes. So that's kind of, you know, because nothing's scripted. So I just kind of I kind of talk off the top of my head because I like it. It makes it more relatable to you guys. And I think it's just a funner way to make videos, because I just get to say things off the top of my head. Once again, here I am rambling. Anyways, guys, one thing I do want to say, there will be another video out probably tomorrow, or the same day, depending on when this video actually gets to go up, only because there is some more legal nonsense going on with No Man's Sky as of the same day this trailer released, and I'll make a video talking about all that. It's hopefully doesn't mess with the release of the game. I don't think it will, but there's some other legal nonsense going on with some other company that just came out of the blue, so I'll have a video up on that, covering that, to let you guys know exactly what's happening. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up for me, and subscribe for anything and everything No Man's Sky. My name has been JustJarrod, aka the No Man's Sky guy. I hope you guys have a wonderfully fantastic day. Until next time.